Hello from beautiful Pin Oak Village in Katy. We are at Christmas Katy, the creation of J.D. Shuck. This has been an evolution. You guys did your first display in 2004, right?
Right, just static display.
And these trees, well, a different version of these trees, inspired you to do something more.
Right, a guy named Carson Williams had the first synchronized light show in 2004 that he started, and he had a similar shape of 15 trees, and this pretty much got me hooked on it, and the evolution of going from just all white trees to now I've got these layered in different sequence. I inverted it from 5 to 1 to 1 to 5. I changed the direction that he did, but that was pretty much what happened.
And that's not your only tribute. You have a tribute to another light pioneer as well.
Right. The first guy named Marty Flack was the guy who invented what we call the Marty fan. And the arch you see there with the different spokes.
It's not lit up right now, but it will be. It will be.
He came up with that idea, and it's grown here because now I'm using all smart lights. I'm using pixels, but the same premise that he inspired back then. And then these are called leaping arches down below, which again, somebody came up with another idea to try to address it. We went into the leaping arches, and so these can dance back and left and right. That's why we call them leaping arches.
I feel like it's really important to point out that you built all of this.
Oh yeah.
This isn't something you just went down to, like, say, Home Depot and bought. No. You made them.
We wire everything together. Yeah, these pipes are all bent. I finally figured out where to buy translucent pipe, large enough, and I built a frame to hold it and put the lights inside of it. That's an aluminum frame, and for that lights, the big poles are aluminum poles. I used to use steel. Now I've gone to aluminum because it's lighter weight, much easier for me to put up and take down. But believe it or not, the Katy Tiger is made out of hardy board. That thing weighs about 50 pounds with the frame and everything around it. And just to drill the holes for the lights through the hardy board back then was really hard to do when I have had that, but that's been around for a good while, about 2006.
How about the nutcrackers? Because you also built those.
Yes, the nutcrackers are about 350 pounds each. Those were built from scratch. The head was a foam block, and I had to shape that. The nose was formed. The sword is again styrofoam. My wife came up with the details. We did all the painting. My daughter painted the faces. The actual material is a bathtub liner. That's a liner that's flexible, gone around on a wooden frame. We've got dowels that do the different spacing and the different depths. This is PVC pipe. So basically that's what that is. The rod goes through there. And again, we use that same material to make that. So, and we have electronics I have inside of them, and they have lights on the top.
So you start putting this together, like assembling, right after Halloween?
Day after Halloween is the official day that we start putting things out. We let the kids have a free rein to run without falling over or anything. So rule is after Halloween.
Because I imagine you're not mowing your yard after you get this all set up.
Right, we blow a lot of leaves, but we don't cut anything.
So how much money would you estimate?
I don't want to talk about money.
Okay.
I talk about hours. I tell you, it's insurmountable number of hours. This year we painted all of the candy canes, redid all that. Zip ties, every year I've got to buy bags of several hundred zip ties. I go through probably 2,000 or 3,000 zip ties every year, and just to put the zip ties down. Of course, at the end of the day, I got to cut them all, take them all off too. So
putting it up, I think you told me you get a cherry picker for 3 days.
Yeah, I get a 60-foot boom cherry picker that I can do because it's not safe for me to get on a ladder that high.
I can see why DJ would not approve. Yeah.
32 feet up there to carry everything. The gingerbread trim is made out of coral board now. When we started, it was made out of plywood, and it was really hard to carry up, and it didn't weather as well. Coroplast is great, but that's all hand cut, hand painted, hot glued decorations on. Even the little gingerbread people we hand painted those.
I love asking you about that because you can tell it's such a passion. Like, you can tell you love this.
We love the details.
When you start to see, we're noticing cars starting to drive by now. When you start seeing those first cars come by every season, is that what makes you keep going?
We do get a lot of satisfaction in seeing friends and neighbors come by, especially when they come back with their families. That the second generation comes. I mean, their kids came, now their kids are coming, the grandkids. So it's a very much a family tradition for a lot of folks to come out here every year, and they've got it down to a calendar. They know from previous traffic, when they really want to come. But even, Christmas Eve, it's a lot of people come out on Christmas Eve still. And we run through New Year's Day. We run it through, so people coming in from out of town still have an opportunity to see it.
I love that. I had my family came in after Christmas one year, and they're like, "Take us to the Christmas lights," and you never know who's still going to have them on after Christmas. What hours? When can people see the display?
Monday through Sunday through Thursday, we're from 5:30 to 9 o'clock, and then we go till 10 o'clock on Friday and Saturday.
And people can double check that. You have a website, Christmas Katy?
We have a website, and if it's super bad rain, unfortunately like Thanksgiving night was, so super bad rain, we do have a weather clause that we won't run if it's pouring down rain. It's kind of hard to look out your window and see the lights anyways when it's raining really hard. But
well, that brings up something else. So, even though we're in December, it still gets stormy, it's still warm. The wear and tear that all of this has to endure every season, what kind of repairs do you have to do? Do you do them before you pack everything up or when you're pulling everything out?
When it comes time to take it down, pretty much I want to box it up and take it to the shed. Now, I'll start bringing everything out of the shed in August and bring it home, and then we have to go through all the lights and check everything. And so, it's a big light check in August and September. Organization, because there's a certain order that everything has to go up, and if you notice that even those lights connections are all off the ground. So we have a lot of wires on the ground. There are no connections on the ground. We've learned over time not to have any connections where they can stand in water. But it's still, like I say, there's quite a few connections.
I just, as someone who occasionally hangs up a string of lights, I'm absolutely in awe of something like this because of the dedication and because of the sheer organization. When you're talking about 24 control boxes, 70,000 lights, literal miles of cord. I'm not sure my brain could handle all of that.
And all these posts are actually in concrete. So over the years, we've learned, if you want to do it the same way, well, I've got concrete footings down there, and this PVC pipe can screw down to a fitting in that concrete. It all gets numbered. We go through a lot of blue tape when we take it down, because everything has to be labeled where its home is, so we can find it when we got to go put it back together, and especially when you're storing it, because there's 3 different, like I say, circles here. We have a tree inside of a tree. A lot of people don't realize that tree actually is inset, so part of it goes through, which makes it really fun to put up.
I bet. So the items don't move, but you do change the playlist every year. What
Yes.
are some additions you've made?
I guess Frozen is the most recent song that we did, and then prior to that we did a tribute to Kenny Rogers when he died. He had a song with Dolly Parton, and those are the last 2 songs that we've added.
Which sounds so simple, right? You're programming Let It Go, but for every minute, what kind of effort goes into that?
For every minute, there's about 12 hours of time spent programming. There's 8,600 lines of actual programming. There's 35 different tracks, soundtracks. I have to break that sound out because every element gets a track. The 15 trees, they're on one track. The Marty Fan's on a track. All the mega trees are on a track. It depends if they're a mega tree with 12 or 8. Would be 12 times 4, 48, red, white, green, and blue. So whatever the number is times 4. So all that gets done separately. And then you get now with the pixels, it gets really intense because every bulb gets 3 channels. So it has a red, a blue, and a green element, and you have to tell what percentage of power in order to formulate the color. So if it's white, it's 100% all three. But if it's red, well, it's just red. If it's green, it's green. But then you have yellows and chartreuse and every other. I mean, you can make any color you want.
I think my brain has the capacity to maybe like do one of these. That's it. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask: was there anything else you wanted folks to know about Christmas Katy?
We're free. It's family oriented. We ask everybody be patient because it can get pretty crowded. If you come early, you can park for a while, but when we get a line down the street, we'll have to kick in, we call drive-by mode, so everybody has an opportunity to be fair, for everybody to see it. We let people park over on the side of the house here, and they can come out and take pictures and stay as long as they want, as long as they can find a place to park. But yeah, just be a good neighbor, be a good friend, have a good time.
Good rule of thumb. JD, thank you so much for having us. This is our second week living in the Lone Star Holiday Homes. We're in Katy tonight. You can find out more information about this display at christmaskaty.com. Next week, we're heading to the Heights to show you a couple of homes there. Very excited to see those. I scouted them out last night. You're in for a treat, but for now, we're gonna wrap it up. Merry Christmas, guys.